Hello, Reagan here, and welcome to my channel. This week I'm working on Moses' detective agency. Wow, can't talk. I love this build, and I'm also excited because this build has lighting, a little lamp, which the last one I did not, which made me kind of sad. But it came together pretty good. I started off with the furniture because it's always the easiest to get that done so that I have the building blocks of the build. I can like set everything up and then do all the little accessories last. And I have been like using a lot of different glues. I don't know if you've noticed in my videos, if you've watched anything else that I've uploaded, but I'll use like 3 or 4 different types of glue, and it's always like trying to find what works best with different materials and stuff. And I discovered with this, because of the finish on the pieces of wood, like whatever they're painted with, it's not very porous. So I was having a hard time. I always started using wood glue, and then I having to use alcohol glue, and then the alcohol glue was actually affecting the finish. It was lifting the paint off. So I was having all kinds of fun, but in the end, I got it worked out pretty well, and it didn't turn out too bad. So I was mentioning some of the other projects in my last video. I was talking about some of the other projects I'm working on, and if you follow me on Instagram, I usually post pretty regularly over there with some of the stuff that I'm doing, but I haven't been lately. Been a lot going on, but I will give you a little peek here at some of the stuff that I'm working at. I do have the Enterprise built. I just have to actually paint it, which I haven't done yet, and put on all those little decals. There's so many decals. And then I'm also working on Wednesday's dorm room, which I have the most basic of basics done on. I have the window done because I have a Cricut, so I was able to go into my Cricut and do the vinyl for the window. And then I bought a tiny violin and painted it black. So I have, that's about as far as I've got so far. I've been looking for an option for Wednesday's typewriter, and I haven't been real happy with what I've found so far. So I'm either going to make something or just keep looking. One of the two. Maybe a combination of the two. Maybe buy something else and make it work a little bit better, because I haven't been happy with what I've found. So we'll see. I also put this Volkswagen together, and my inspiration for purchasing and building this Volkswagen is it's actually the car that Christina Ricci, I'm not sure what year, I didn't really pay that close attention to what year Volkswagen she's driving in the Wednesday series, but it was a purple Volkswagen. So I have this 66 that I built and airbrushed. That video will be coming up too, relatively soon. And that car was a really fun build. That actually, I got to test out my new airbrush. I had to replace my airbrush because when I was in Seattle the first time when I took the road trip and drove up there, while I was gone, my cats tried to assassinate my air compressor, and my Badger Patriot was attached to the air compressor, and it took a pretty nasty tumble. And it's just not quite right anymore. The trigger doesn't, I don't know, it's kind of funky and doesn't really work like it should. So I got a replacement. So yeah, anyway, it was my first time using the new airbrush, and I was really used to my old one. So it was a little bit of a learning curve, but it definitely works just fine. But yeah, so I've got quite a bit going on. I'm trying to get all these little side project things out of the way because I really want to start my dollhouse. I've got this giant box sitting here staring at me every single day, and I can't wait to tear into it so that I can get that started, so that I can start building stuff to go in it, and pick color schemes and all that fun stuff. And I'm just trying so hard to get to it, but I'm also trying to clear as much of the other stuff out of the way as I possibly can, getting stuff built and painted and done, so that I don't have a bunch of little side projects to feel guilty about not having finished. And then I'm also trying to balance it out too, to where I have other stuff to work on once in a while so that I don't get burnt out on working on the dollhouse. Even though the cool thing about the dollhouse is because there's like the main big house to build, and then I'll be worrying about like wallpaper and paint and individual, like each room, like all of the stuff to go in it. So that should be pretty good as far as like keeping me from getting burnt out, because I'll have a lot of variety of stuff to work on for all the different rooms. And I'm not sure, I have to double check. I think it's like a 7 to 10 room, depending on how you set it up. Dollhouse is huge, like it's massive. So it's going to be interesting. I'll have lots and lots and lots to do on that. Like I said, I'm trying to clear everything else as much as I possibly can so that I can just focus on that and not have a bunch of other stuff like eating away at me because it's not finished. So it's coming soon. It's going to happen. But, yeah. Yeah, if you notice, I switched glue here because I was using the wood glue, and like I said, it wasn't grabbing very well. The Alien's tack and retack glue was working. It was working okay. It did the job. Like I said, somewhere along the line, I decided to use alcohol glue, which just wrecked the finish on the desk. Yeah, right here. And this is it. This is where I did the thing I regretted. But I was like, well, I'm all in. Might as well double down. Just keep going with it. I didn't notice like it takes a minute for the glue to start like activating, and I didn't think about the fact that it's like alcohol-based glue. So, and the alcohol, well, eats everything. I mean, I used alcohol to remove paint off of stuff that I've painted. So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but it's okay. I mean, it worked out. It doesn't look too bad. In the end, it was fine. The thing I liked about this kit was that the majority of the drawers do open and close as well. I think it's really cute. Or no, actually, I take that back. The drawer on the desk opens and closes. It's a full drawer. It's got a wood bottom and everything. It's really cute. The bookshelf drawers do, or doors, whatever, the bottom portion of them don't open, but it's okay. Also, I like working in the 124 scale, but I kind of like the 112 scale better because like the level of detail and stuff is a little bit easier to achieve because it's bigger and not quite as tedious as working in the 124 scale. So yeah, the dollhouse that I'm working on will be in 112 scale, but this is all like 120 and 124 scale for the majority of the kits that I've been doing. So yeah, well, except for the Enterprise. That's a little bit different scale because I don't have the kind of room it would take to build that in a 112 scale. Or 124 actually. It's huge. But yeah, no, it's I forgot what scale it says, like 1/164th or something like that. I'll have to double check. But it's a pretty nice. The stand for the Enterprise is really nice. It's got like a steel rod to hold the Enterprise up, so it's nice and sturdy, and turned out to be a pretty cool build. Yeah, I wrestled to get the drawer in at first, but once you like get it like wedged, the little back piece wedged in there, it's really nice because it sits nice, and it's made to where like the way it's set up is there's supposed to be stuff in the drawer. It's supposed to open and close. So it works kind of nice because the drawer doesn't like flop out on the floor when it's open. It actually catches in there pretty nice. And this chair gave me fits. And then I got it all put together and it was so cute. And I'm like, oh, I love this. It's just amazing. But I used the wrong glue for the legs. And so I had a leg fall off and then the leg fell in the floor and rolled under a piece of furniture and I couldn't find it. So I ended up having to like cut up some cocktail sticks and replace the legs on the chair. I was very disappointed with myself at this, but at the same time, it turned out fine because I just, like I said, I replaced it. And, I mean, if you look closely, obviously you'll notice, but it wasn't the worst fix for my little screw up. So I'm not mad. It's a cute little chair. Oh, and this chair was a lot easier to put together than the one from the workshop. That workshop chair gave me fits. It was like not as stable. This one actually turned out pretty good. And then this part here is the steps that come in from the front door. Like as you come in the door, there's 2 steps down into the main floor of the office. And it's got the cute little black and white tiles that go on it, which I think are really, really adorable. And I always try to like spread my glue out because I'm notorious for using too much glue and it always makes a mess, and it makes things look terrible when you use too much glue. So I always try to like remember to like spread the glue out, not use too much, and try to keep it as neat as possible because it really does seriously affect the outcome. The other thing I don't really care for with this alcohol glue, even though it's great glue and it sticks really well to things, it has a lot of like stringers. It's like working with hot glue. Like there's just there's like little spider webs of this stuff everywhere. And then like sometimes like a little bit of it'll like stick to something and you'll be like swinging pieces around. It's so frustrating. But like I said, I'm kind of a messy crafter too. So this stuff is like the bane of my existence sometimes. It works good though. It's a good glue. And then this glue actually came from the kits I got at Hobby Lobby. So I don't even know what what brand of glue it is. Like specifically, I just know it's alcohol based because it has a little label that says alcohol based glue. And I got this little spreader at the dollar store. It's for like putting on like face masks and stuff is what they market it for. But it is the absolute perfect thing to spread glue with, especially on big surfaces like this. It's amazing. It always helps when you're putting on like flooring or wallpapers that are paper like that to use the little spreader so that it doesn't have like lumps in it from the glue. It really helps keep that from happening. And then it's also really nice to just get rid of the excess glue when you dump too much on like I usually do. And see this crate, instead of it being like the other stuff where it has that like heavy acrylic paint on it, it's more like raw wood that's been like stained, like wood stained. So it took the wood glue really, really well and stuck quite nicely. I did. I don't know if I included. I might have cut it out, but yeah, no, there it is. So everything's flat again. Even though I got everything to stick together really good and it was holding together really nicely, I managed to put my hand down on it when I wasn't paying attention and had to go and re-glue everything again. So this isn't unusual for me. I have to cut down a lot of what I do because I'm seriously a very clumsy, messy crafter. But somehow I managed to get some kind of a finished product in the end. I don't know how, but it happens. So yeah, I enjoy it though, even if I'm not the best at it some days. It's still a lot of fun. Little crate is so cute. Oh, and these little metal tipped applicator bottles are amazing. I bought a big pack of them a while back for paints. And this was one, actually the one I'm using for wood glue here is one that I had rubbing alcohol in. So I used to use it to fix my mistakes when I got paint where it didn't want it to be or was trying to like change it a color on a miniature or whatever. But that bottle was empty, so I threw some wood glue in it, and I was kind of worried about it being too thick, but it's not. It actually works perfectly from the little metal nozzle, and it's nice to have that precise application instead of getting glue all over the place like I normally do. So yeah, worked out pretty nice. Anyway, that just about does it for this week, and next week we will finish this build and I'll have all the rest of the fun stuff to show you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you, actually not even next week, I will see you on Friday with the final video of Moses' detective agency. Thank you for stopping by, and I will see you later. Bye.